just forgot what I was going to try. I remembered it. I said, oh, wait a minute. I grabbed the phone. As soon as I did, I forgot. Let me think. What did I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. This principle in humanity where it's a very, very unfortunate aspect of the human nature that somehow, most of the time, this is an unconscious thing that goes on. We don't want to give recognition to folks where they most want the recognition. Now, I've noticed this particularly in my quest for, let's call it true love. I know how soupy that sounds, but I haven't come up with a better way of saying that yet. I'm still thinking about it. The quest for a true love. It's even described in Judaism as the quest for the soulmate. And the soulmate has a word in Hebrew, zivug. I couldn't believe it. Judaism actually incorporates this into its religion. The pursuit for the soulmate. I don't see that in Christianity anywhere. There's no such a discussion of how you're going to find your true love in Christianity. It's not there at all. But it is in Judaism. Well, I found, for example, that in my pursuit of a true love, and I'm, pushing myself forward, let's say it that way, to various women who I'm going to inquire, are they in any way interested in me? Could they possibly be my zivug over years and years, okay? And while doing this, here's what I found. I often found that women would say that, I've talked about this many times, but, professional comedians, they get a routine, right, of jokes because it's very hard to write a joke. You ever tried to tell a professional sounding joke, which, I mean, these jokes are written like formulae in science. They're precise. They require a hell of a lot of thought to write a good joke, for these stand-up routines. So the best comedians, they got these jokes that they must think years about in developing, and they throw them all together into a routine, and then they go on repeating that routine over and over. They don't throw those things out. You go to YouTube and you'll see the comedian appeared here, appeared there, and you're going to see the same material over and over, and you'll be glad to see it because you love those jokes, but they'll mix them up and tell them in different orders and change the wording a little bit, but this is their material, right? So my material as, let's say, a quester for the zivug, that may be the way I'm going to say that. Say it the way somebody in Judaism would say it. I'll popularize that in the world outside Judaism, where they're going to say, hey, never heard of such things. And it becomes, if they say, I like that better than true love. True love, true love, come on, get out of here, right? So, zivug, it sounds, wow, zivug, it almost sounds like something ugly almost, right? Okay, so, well, I noticed, in quizzing some of these women, over and over it was happening that I'd hear things like, and I've talked about this many times, I'd say, wow, your husband must just love that blonde hair of yours. And the answer would come back. I mean, this is every time, okay, I'll give some other examples. The woman would say, oh, Harry, he hates my blonde hair. He hates blondes. He always wanted a brunette. He's always telling me, dye your hair. I just can't stand blondes. So you see this woman, let's say you like blondes, you know? You love blondes, you love blonde-haired women. And here you're going to have this woman with the beautiful blonde hair. And who's she married to? She's married to a man who doesn't like blonde hair. This is the way it was happening over and over. So you'd see some woman with like what you would call a Hollywood sex symbol hourglass figure. Okay? And you'd make a comment to that woman in some way that she wouldn't find offensive about that hourglass figure of hers. Well, your husband, he must have been head over heels for you. And what do you hear back? You hear, Harry? Oh my God, Harry always wanted what he calls the sporty woman. You know, those model types from the 1960s, like Twiggy. They look like little boys. This is what he wanted. And so, you know, what you're saying no, he doesn't like the way I look at all. He wishes, he's always telling me, he wishes he had a woman who looked more like a little boy. I said, my God, this is a gorgeous woman, and the man who marries her, he doesn't even want what you're drooling for, okay? So what I noticed often was that if I was like drooling for something, I'd get just absolutely shut out on that basis. I'd get punished for liking a certain thing, and some of these answers I got back, they were like whippings and say, he likes a Twiggy. Okay, all right, okay, thank you. So I noticed this was happening over and over again, and so I then began to see examples of this, like in the popularity of certain what are these called? Leading men and women, okay, in Hollywood, okay. We have Rock Hudson, who was a big heartthrob among women. And so was the guy who played Dr. Kildare, Richard Chamberlain, okay. These were like, I had an older sister. The women were like absolutely mesmerized by these men. They were saying, this is the heartthrob. Or put the poster up on the wall. The woman is drooling for this man. And what do you find out? The man is gay. He doesn't like women at all as a sexual partner. And he is the heartthrob for a nation. And people all around, women all around the world are drooling for this guy, and he's gay. Well, what I'm saying is there's this principle in human nature like this. Now, it's hard to describe. I would say that Sigmund Freud could have analyzed this beautifully, the way he looked at, I think his term was ambivalence, the simultaneous attraction and repulsion from an idea, like the love and hate, the two poles involved in everything we're looking at. He would have explained this beautifully, I'm sure. And I should be able to, I loved Freud's books. I just absolutely loved them. Because to me, they were like detective novels. I'm not saying, I'm not involved in all the controversies that came later, women saying that he advocated the vaginal orgasm rather than the clitoral orgasm. He didn't understand women. Well, I think that's a misrepresentation and a did I say misinterpretation just now of Sigmund Freud? And it's a dishonest and it's a wrong-headed way of looking at him, as if he were somehow wrong-headed himself when he clearly wanted to help people. And he did quite a lot in that way toward helping folks. And I got to say, a lot of what he said is still at the foundation of the study of psychology today. He's still the father of psychology, in my opinion, although I'm no psychologist. But as an outsider looking at this field of study, I'd say he's still pervasive as an influence to this day. And well, I got to say that I should be off on a tangent, but why not? Who am I talking to? There are no views on any of these videos I make. There's no views, so who am I talking to? Well, I'm not sure. What I've said is all these videos are for the person I've been calling Bishuasi, to keep her identity concealed, so that if this person wants absolutely nothing to do with me at all, that dislikes me and even hates me, I won't get taken to court and jailed for liking this person, okay? Making these videos in praise of this person, I won't be jailed and punished for it. So I've kept the person's identity concealed for 3.5 years now. And I can say that although I've come close to letting people know who I think the person is, I would say that I'm still keeping a kind of legal distance from being pinpointed by anybody so that they can say in a court of law, now this is Bishuasi, right? This is the person. I said, no, I never said that. So I'm avoiding being jailed because I have been jailed and punished, tortured in a mental prison and stigmatized and all that. I have been. So I hope I don't forget what I was wanting to talk about, because my anger has now put me in what I call an emotional blackout. I've entered an emotional blackout from anger, and I forgot what I was talking about. Well, I got off on a tangent on Sigmund Freud, but I was trying to talk about a characteristic of human nature where we simply don't want to give recognition where recognition is due. I don't know how to say it better. Like, you're going to have a male heartthrob making, fame, millions of dollars, popularity, having the carpet rolled for him everywhere around the world because he's a sex symbol for women, and the guy is gay. He's keeping that to himself. But everybody's just, oh, this is it. This is it. Well, this is true about humanity, that, like I say, the woman with characteristics that make you drool marries somebody who has absolutely no appreciation for what you're ready to get down on your, to grovel around down at her feet in praise of. The guy she marries, he doesn't give one damn about but this aspect of her, which is like, to you, they got this woman on a pedestal. She's a goddess to you, but like I say, she marries someone who doesn't give one damn about what you're appreciating. So anyway, I've noticed this across experience. That's all, and I was just trying to go back over my material as an observer of humanity, the way a comedian goes over his material as a comic and says, oh, he's got these jokes, and he's going to retell those jokes over and over. And they're good jokes. They take a lot of crafting and a lot of work and a lot of thought. Well, this idea of mine, I need to continue to work on it, to get to working into something that I can, get a better way of expressing, a concise, powerful way to express this idea. I don't have it yet, so I'm still working on it. And well, my theory about these heartthrobs, okay, and how they become so popular among women when they're gay. Well, my theory is that when you're watching like a movie, like the women are watching, they don't know this man is gay, so they're instinctively, unconsciously observing this man with the leading lady, okay? And let's say that they're going to kiss or they're embracing it, okay? Well, instinctively, women are aware of behaviors in a man that they're not conscious that they're aware of, and they're saying to themselves, hey, I can see he really doesn't like that woman. Let's say it's a really gorgeous leading lady who all the men are drooling for around the world, but this leading man, who nobody knows is gay, is there with her. He's got her in his arms and all, and he's saying sweet things to her, and they're in love. But the women watching are saying, wait a minute, he doesn't really like her, I can tell. And they're keeping this to themselves. They're aware instinctively, they're saying, there's no way on that. He may like me. Let's say they're 13. So the poster goes up on the wall. Maybe I can marry this guy. He really likes somebody like me. He doesn't like that woman. They can tell. And this is part of the attraction that the women feel for this sex symbol. It's based in their instinctive response to this man, who they don't know is gay. They don't know it, but they see him together with the woman, like I'm saying, and they see it's not real between them. So what are they thinking? They're thinking any normal man in the arms of this gorgeous starlet is going to be, woo, so am I glad I became an actor? Woo, is this fun? I get to embrace and kiss the sex symbol of the modern world, somebody like Sophia Loren. Mwah! Oh, I got my arms around, she's embracing me like I'm her true love. Oh, or I got Bridget Bardot. Or I got Raquel Welch. Somebody like this, and a normal man is going to be saying, oh my God, am I glad I went into acting? But no, that's not the way it works. The way it works is just like in real life, even in the professional world of acting, the guy who's going to be in the arms of this woman that everybody's ruling for, he doesn't want her. Okay, so I've been trying to develop this material of mine so that I can express it. And what I'm really looking for is a Freudian way to describe the psychological determinants, if you will, of why people are this way. And just quickly to conclude this little discussion here, Freud, for example, would say that the prohibition against something like incest is so strong in a society. Why? He said because the desire for incest is so great. He was saying, okay, like you hear women say, what's their ideal man? It's somebody who's their friend, right? Who they know, maybe from childhood on up. Their buddies, friends, and it's who? Well, where else would you find a better buddy than, let's say, a brother or sister? Your friends, you grow up together, you're real close, and so then you're gonna have sex later, and it's gonna be great, right? In terms of this principle that you hear from women that they want. So in line with that, Freud is saying incest is something so highly desired that the prohibition against it has to be absolutely fearsome to keep people from indulging in it. Well, what I'd like to do is find an argument like that for this characteristic of human nature that I see as all pervasive in our experience, where for some reason, and I don't have a handle on this yet, uh, we simply do not want to give recognition where you would think it most ought to go. And we often give recognition when it's not appreciated in the least. And that's where we most give it. Well, that's the best I can do for now. Okay, I went and grabbed my son's edition of Shakespeare. Mine is in the Colorado Springs, Colorado dump, where I threw all my books. My precious edition of Shakespeare was the Penguin edition of the Complete Shakespeare. It had all my notes. From college and graduate school, I studied the Shakespeare in graduate school as well. And then I read Shakespeare on my own over and over. Okay, so I had all my notes in there, and it was thrown into the Colorado Springs dumps. But I found that my son, he has an edition of the Complete Shakespeare. So I thought, well, why not go get that quote that I can't remember that I had memorized all these years and suddenly I've forgotten. Well, all these videos are for you, Bishuasi, because if it's true that you do like me, there's only two people in the world, my wife and you, who like me in the way you do. Okay, there's 8 billion people roughly on the planet, and 2 like me in the way that I can appreciate. But I gotta say, the way you seem to like me, I said, my God, when I saw that you seem to like me, I said, somebody like you, wait a minute, hold on, this can't be true. You like me? Gee, yeah. Come on, let's go. Well, because of this principle I'm talking about here in this message, where we're not allowed to be recognized the way we want to be. And so I'm somebody nobody likes, nobody cares about. I'm not crying about this. These are facts. I'm a writer. I haven't published a single word. I make videos like this. There are no views. No one wants to see or hear from me. And said, there's one person out there, it's you, Bishuasi, who likes me. And the world says no. I can't even get to you to get an answer. Is this true? You like me or not? Let me at least know. And the world is saying no to me. It's not allowing me to get to you. So I'm talking about this principle, okay? Now, this quotation from Shakespeare describes this perfectly. And it's in his poem, Venus and Adonis. And he wrote these poems at a time when he wasn't writing plays. And I'm assuming it's going to be in this Complete Shakespeare here of my son's. Now, let me look. This is the complete work, so the poem's got to be here. All right, let me look. I'm looking through the table of contents here. I need glasses, but I've misplaced them as everybody does with glasses. And well, I can get along without them, but I prefer to have them. But I don't know where they are, so I think I can get along without them now. The poem's got to be here. This is the Complete Shakespeare. His poems, I didn't want to look at this online. I prefer to see it in a book. Okay, Venus and Adonis, page 223. Okay, so I'm amazed. I cannot remember this quote. It's been something I've had in memory for years and years, and suddenly I try to remember today and I can't. So I thought, well, let me get the book out and read the quote to you. Because I'm saying, Bishuasi, I've been holding on to the idea that you liked me for 3.5 years, and I got no evidence that it's true, except what I've seen that makes me think that you do like me. Still, it's not evidence I can take to a court and say, here's the proof that she does like. No, I can't do that. So I'm holding on, almost the way people hold on to religion. They say, we believe in God, but no, we don't have any there's no actual smoking gun evidence that God is there, right? Where's the smoking gun evidence? I'm not sure I know what that means, smoking gun, but my idea is somebody pulls the trigger on a gun, it goes off, and you see smoke coming out of the barrel. Somebody's been killed right in front of you, so you say, well, the bullet came from that gun. There's smoke coming out of the barrel. That must be what it means. Well, there's no evidence like that for the existence of God, but people believe anyway. Okay, so, I found the quote easily, okay? So here, I'll read it to you, Peshuasi. Okay, it illustrates the principle I've been trying to put in words here. Since thou art dead, lo, here I prophesy. Sorrow on love hereafter shall attend. It shall be waited on with jealousy. Life's sweet beginning, but in savory end. Ne'er settled equally, but high or low. All love's pleasures shall not touch his will. It shall be fickle, false, and full of fraud. Bud and be blasted from breathing wine. The bottom poison, and the top nor straw. The sweets that shall the truest sight beguile. The strongest body shall it make most weak. Strike the wise dumb, and teach the fool to speak. It shall be sparing and too full of riot, teaching decrepit age to tread the measures. The staring ruffian shall it keep in quiet, pluck down the rich, enrich the poor with treasures. It shall be raging mad and silly mind, make the young old and old become child. It shall suspect where is no cause of fear. It shall not fear where it should most mistrust. It shall be merciful and too severe, and most deceiving when it seems most just. First it shall be where it shows most toward. Fear to valor, courage to coward. It shall be cause of war and dire events, and set dissension twixt the sun and sire, subject and servile to all districts.